You're tuning into The Josh Bernstein Show, where liberalism is a mental disorder. And Josh is the cure.
Welcome to another hard-hitting edition of The Josh Bernstein Show. The Josh Bernstein Show starts where the rest of the media ends. We're going to get right into a whole bunch of things today. We had breaking news while I was putting the show together of Barack Obama appointing this Merrick Garland, so we're going to talk about that here in just a second. I also want to explain to you folks, and I said this on social media, why I believe Donald Trump has already won the nominations, and I'll even give you the amount that he has won it by as far as delegate count. A little bit later on in the program, we're going to be joined by Wayne Allen Root, great conservative patriot. He's going to be talking to us about the Trump campaign, the protesters, who's behind the scenes. We're going to be naming names, all that good stuff, so you certainly don't want to miss that. But let's talk about the Supreme Court nominee, Merrick Garland. Here's what we know about him. He's been appointed by Bill Clinton. He's from the First Circuit Court of Appeals in D.C., the District Court, which is one of the most radical and liberal courts that there is. He's from the Chicago political machine, and he's a liberal Jew who went to Harvard. So he's one of the probably the snooty Harvard-educated, Yale-educated, upper echelon type of folks out there that Barack Obama loves, you know, the folks that like to go around the Constitution and look for ways to circumvent it. He prosecuted Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, and he's, quote, known as a centrist, but I believe this is a Trojan horse. This is Barack Obama going, gee, I can't put an outright socialist communist on the court, so I got to try to fool the Republicans into thinking that this guy is somehow a centrist or a moderate. Do not fall for it, Republican Party. Stand firm and say absolutely no way. And you know what else is interesting? Barack Obama has somehow morphed into Barack Belichick, lecturing Republicans to, quote, do their job. I'm sorry, Barack Obama, but we are going to do our job. You know what that is? We're going to prevent you from appointing a left-wing radical onto the Supreme Court, tipping the balance far to the left of the court, and possibly having future decisions with the Second Amendment, freedom of speech, right to privacy, Obamacare, all these other things. There's too much going on. So you know what? We are going to, quote, do our job, Barack Obama, or Barack Belichick, as I'll call you right now, telling everyone to do our job. We're going to do our job. We're going to put pressure on the Senate Republicans to say no and then hell no on your nominee, okay? We are in the last throngs of your presidency, and the last thing we're going to do is allow you to put someone on the court that's going to serve far long after you have been let go and not president anymore, and probably becoming a professional golfer in Hawaii or Indonesia or wherever the hell you're going to go. So yeah, we are going to stand firm. And I hope the Republicans do stand firm. We've got to put pressure on them like you cannot believe. This is a battle we must win. There'll be more on that later on as this story unfolds and develops. Now, I want to talk real quick about the delegate math, okay? Donald Trump needs 1,237 delegates in order to secure the nomination. I listened to Fox News last night, CNN, all these stories, you know, they're literally doing this fantasy. Everyone's talking about this contested and brokered convention. It's not going to happen. First of all, if it happened, it would lead to a revolution because the Trump supporters would not stand for it. They'd be rioting in the streets because they are fired up to vote for Donald Trump. Again, I haven't endorsed anybody, and I'm not endorsing anybody right now. But here's the bottom line. Trump has 646 delegates right now. If you do the math, that's 52.4% of the delegates needed in order to secure the nomination. Now, just in the next week or so, we've got the Arizona primary, the Utah primary, the Wisconsin primary, and the very delegate-rich New York primary. That's 407 delegates, okay? Assuming that Donald Trump wins most of those delegates, let's just give you a low number. I believe the number is going to be 75, 80% of the delegates that he'll win. But just to be on the safe side, let's say he wins 70% of the total delegates awarded in those states. 407 times 70 is 284. You add the 284 to the 646, that's 930 delegates. Still short of the nomination, but getting closer. Now, fast forward to late in April and early May, you've got Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island, California, Nebraska, a couple other states. That totals 502 delegates. Again, take that same 70% that he'll at least get in the delegate count, that brings you to 351. You take the 351 plus the 930, that equals 1,281 delegates. He needs 1,237 delegates. He's got a 44 delegate lead to spare, and that's not including any superdelegates that may be pledged to him. Sorry, folks, I wasn't born and raised on Common Core math. It is over. It is over. The only thing that can beat him is himself. And I've said this before, and you can go back to shows from 6, 8, 10 months ago. The only person that can beat Donald Trump is Donald Trump. That's it. Nobody else can beat this guy. And it's about time that we unite the party around him and focus on Hillary Clinton to beat Hillary Clinton. Because I can tell you right now, as I sit here right now today, and I called it 2 years ago if she was the nominee, that she will nominate either Julian Castro to be her vice president, I can almost guarantee it, or if she has to, Bernie Sanders, to get the Bernie Sanders supporters. So I want you folks to know that this will not be a walk in the park for Donald Trump by any stretch. I understand there's enthusiasm, but I don't buy into the enthusiasm gaps. It's way too early for that. But also, you have to understand, if she puts the radical socialist, communist, leftist, revolutionary Castro on the ticket, that's going to change things dramatically. If she puts Bernie Sanders, the comrade Sanders, on the ticket, that's going to rejuvenate the youth vote. You've got to understand, Donald Trump, when he wins this nomination, he's got to put a rock-solid conservative on the ticket to counterbalance the fact that he's not a rock-solid conservative. He's more of a populist and a pragmatist. So this is a battle that's going to be tough. This is not going to be easy. And let's not forget the fact that the Electoral College is so skewed and so favored for the left. I mean, before the Republicans even get a sniff at a swing state, they're down, 120, 140 electoral votes. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be very interesting. But as I said, unless he completely self-implodes, says something so horrific and abhorrent that it ends it all, I don't see a brokered or a contested convention. You can talk about it all you want. You can have these fantasies on television all you want. I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to happen. He's going to be the nominee. He'll be the nominee by at least 44 delegates to spare. I know I said 71 last night, but recalculating the math as the Missouri numbers came in, I say that he's going to win by at least 44 delegates. We shall see what happens. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
You're tuning into the Josh Bernstein Show, where Josh covers the news the way the liberal media would not dare.
Hey, Josh Bernstein here. If you like that segment, please tune in to the full show at starworldwidenetworks.com. Again, starworldwidenetworks.com. Look for the Josh Bernstein Show, or you can also find me on YouTube. I appreciate you guys watching.